In this PowerPoint, we will be going through the drill down process, starting with the standards and ending with the objectives for daily lesson plans. Each curriculum and lesson plan starts with the standards and needs to be connected to these standards. These are statements about what students should know and be able to do, both content and process. They are developed by states and professional organizations in specific disciplines. Some districts develop their own. Others adopt the state standards. Right now, of course, we're in the midst of adopting the Common Core standards. If you have not become familiar with the standards for your particular discipline, be sure you go to the Department of Public Instruction website and check out the Common Core standards and the standards for your specific discipline. The curriculum is much more specific than the standards. It organizes all of the information in the standards according to grade level. The curriculum is the program devised by local school districts to prepare students to meet those standards. They may include activities, lessons, materials, and instructional techniques. These are things that the standards would not have in them. The curriculum organizes the information that students need to know and be able to do in grade level specific content and process, as well as course specific packaging in the upper grades. This is called the scope and sequence, the depth and order of each of the courses that a student would progress through in order to meet the standards by the end of 12th grade. While the state has guidelines for curriculum development, each district pretty much has its own process for writing curriculum and its own format. The process is generally used with committees of teachers who use knowledge of the standards and best practice research in their particular discipline. Textbook companies are now expected to demonstrate how their materials will help students meet the standards, and texts are selected and used to assist in the course development process. Lesson plans need to be written for specific courses. As a high school teacher, you may have up to 5 different classes to prepare for, or you may teach the same course every class period. The courses get even more specific in terms of the information for teachers. They move from the broad social studies standards, for example, to the American history class, usually taught at the junior level in most Wisconsin high schools. As you are thinking about doing the lesson plans for this particular course, you need to identify the course that you will be writing the lesson plan for. You need to think about the units within that course and the length and depth of each unit. Some courses are a semester, others are a full year. Given what needs to be taught, how will you spread that out over the course of the year to be sure everything is taught and learned? While units vary in length, consider the cohesiveness of the learning. What concepts that tie that unit together to make it a unit? Using the U.S. history course, for example, units might be the Civil War or the colonial era. The district curriculum document usually provides some guidelines for pacing, less time spent on the era of good feeling, for instance, rather than and more time on World War II. There will be goals and objectives for the course that should translate directly into those units, so that throughout the course of that year, all of those course objectives are somewhere in one or more of those units. Using the goals and objectives from the unit, you would then divide the content and processes to be learned into a logical sequence for learning through the span of that unit. If it's a 2-week unit, what do we need to do in day 1, day 2, etc., to build to meet the unit goals by day 10? The best way to internalize this is to actually look at some sample curriculum documents. And so there is a hyperlink here to the Appleton Area School District curriculum pages, and I'm going to take you through some screenshots of those so I can guide what you're looking for, and then you can go to the web and experiment and explore as you will. This is the first page that you will see when you go to that hyperlink. And you will see a variety of courses listed. You would select your content area from that list. Notice that the website provides a variety of other background information to explore, as well as information on other programs that may be of interest to you as a high school teacher in your content area. For example, how does advanced placement work in the district? So on the previous slide, you would have selected your content area. As a sample, social studies here has been checked. The opening page deals with mission statement and other information such as the standards, district assessments that go with this content area, and research procedures social studies teachers would be expected to be familiar with and use with their students. Here you would select the curriculum. Here you can see the sequence of the courses. If you went through each one, you would see the content and processes expected at each grade level and in each course. At the high school level, you will see a variety of courses. Browse through those courses. We're going to select U.S. History as our sample. Clicking on U.S. History, you will see the course description that will appear online and in print version in the student course catalog. Also noted are any prerequisites, the number of credits, and the board-adopted textbook. District policies vary, but a rule of thumb is that the board-approved text should be used 50% or more of the time. This flexibility enables teachers to use other types of sources, such as primary sources, online, current information, simulations, etc., to reinforce textbook content and increase relevancy for students. Keep in mind that board-approved materials means that you are protected if a parent challenges the use of any material from that series. That protection isn't necessarily there if you use non-board approved materials. If you feel something may be controversial but serves a valuable educational purpose, it would be good to discuss it with your building administrator and perhaps send a parent letter of explanation informing them of its controversial nature and its educational benefit. You may also want to include an opportunity for parents to view or read the material ahead of time and offer them an opt-out for their child if they feel strongly about it not being used. Scroll through that curriculum document when you're on that link. Notice how the standards translate to course objectives. The district uses that term, although these are still broad, but the performance indicators are where you find gold for writing those daily lesson plan objectives and unit objectives. These are even more specific and embedded in the content of the course. These would be appropriate for using or adapting for daily lesson plan objectives. Here is another district curriculum website for you to connect to. And if there are specific districts you are interested in, search for their K-12 curriculum documents, either online or hard copy. And then I'd ask that you complete the following task card, which you can read for yourself. If you have any questions about what's expected of you regarding this particular assignment, please be sure to email or give me a call.